I heard there was rumors, people talking that you guys don't want a rehydration clause in the event if the fight does happen. Do you guys not want one?
Give a damn about that. It only gets so big, it get too big, then that's on him.
Yeah, people want to see that fight, and maybe they see that fight. We don't know yet, right? But maybe they see that fight, and I'm always open to good fights,
Terence Crawford has set the boxing community abuzz by publicly challenging Canelo Alvarez over the inclusion of a rehydration clause in their potential matchup. This clause, frequently a subject of heated debate, places limits on how much weight a fighter can regain following the weigh-in, and Crawford has been outspoken in voicing his frustration with it. Adding further intrigue, Bernie Davis, a central figure within Team Crawford, disclosed in a recent interview that this much-anticipated fight is tentatively slated for September 13th. While no official confirmation has been issued, Bernie's remarks have ignited widespread discussion and speculation among fans and boxing analysts. He confirmed that Crawford is prepared to move up to 168 pounds to challenge Canelo for his collection of super middleweight belts. This would mark a considerable leap for Crawford, a fighter who has already proven his dominance across the lighter weight classes, now seeking to solidify his legacy by taking on one of boxing's most celebrated champions. As more information surfaces, anticipation continues to mount, with many eager to see whether this super fight will be finalized. Should it happen, it could easily rank among the most electrifying contests in recent memory, with both fighters bringing their distinctive strengths and styles into what promises to be a spectacular showdown.
To 168, I wouldn't have to lose any weight. I wouldn't have to strain my body. I can just focus on getting stronger and getting sharper and just work on the things that I need to work on to fight a guy of that size.
You're on an 11-fight knockout streak. Is it important to you to continue that, or you just kind of take this fight as it happens?
I just take the fights how it happens. If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
For weeks, the boxing world has been buzzing over the possible collision between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, about whispered to be coming in September. Now, for the first time, someone close to the camps has offered what seems to be confirmation that this is more than mere rumor. Bernie Davis, a key member of Team Crawford, addressed the chatter in an interview, stating that the fight is set for September 13th, despite the absence of an official announcement. This revelation has only intensified the excitement surrounding the match. Crawford, already a proven force in multiple weight categories, intends to jump to 168 pounds to challenge Canelo for his trio of super middleweight titles. This move has sparked both enthusiasm and debate, with fans and analysts weighing the risks and rewards of such a bold step. While many admire Crawford's ambition, others question whether he can manage the physical demands of fighting at a much heavier class. Critics argue that with no prior experience at 168 pounds, the leap is fraught with danger, especially against a battle-tested champion like Canelo. Bernie Davis quickly dismissed such concerns, simply asking, why? He bolstered his confidence by citing Crawford's extraordinary resume, a 2-division undisputed champion, a 3-division unified titleist, and a 4-division world champion. To Bernie, these accolades prove Crawford's adaptability and his capacity to conquer any challenge. Still, skeptics point out that while Crawford's achievements are impressive, many of his opponents were seen as beatable, raising doubts about how he'll fare against Canelo, who has ruled the super middleweight division with authority. The ongoing debate has only fueled anticipation for what could be a monumental event. In another interview with Fight Hype, Bernie declared, "It's on, baby." September 13th, look forward to it, Crawford vs. Canelo. Yeah, it's confirmed. Crawford vs. Canelo, not the other way around. His bold words sent shockwaves across the sport. He later took to social media, hailing Crawford as the pound-for-pound best and predicting that it's only a matter of time before he's crowned super middleweight champion. Despite Bernie's confidence, detractors remain vocal, pointing to factors like Crawford's age, perceived lack of knockout power, and inexperience at 168 pounds, all of which could work against him. Yet his supporters insist his flawless record and technical brilliance make him a serious threat, with some even likening his dominance to David Benavidez. Still, a deeper look at Crawford's 17-year career raises questions about the quality of competition he's faced. His most recent outing at 154 pounds against Israil Madrimov in August, which many expected him to dominate, turned into a competitive affair, with scorecards reading 115-112, 116-112, and 115-113 in his favor. Though victorious, his performance fell short of expectations, leading some to doubt how he'll cope against a powerhouse like Canelo. Central to the conversation is the contentious rehydration clause, limiting post-weigh-in weight gain. Given Crawford's history of competing nearly 3 weight divisions below Canelo, the size gap could be a key factor. Still, Crawford's longtime trainer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre brushed it aside in an interview with Ricky Ferlati of Ring magazine, saying, "I don't care how much weight an opponent gains after the weigh-in. If they overdo it and get sluggish, that's their problem, not ours." Bomac insisted Crawford is ready for any challenge, regardless of weight dynamics, further heightening the buzz. As anticipation builds, the boxing community is split. Can Crawford's unmatched skill and versatility overcome Canelo's power and experience, or will the Mexican superstar's dominance at 168 pounds prove too much? One thing is certain. The hype surrounding this fight is reaching a fever pitch.
On him.
So do you like Terrence's chances even without a
I love
rehydration clause?
Terrence's chances. When it first came out of his mouth, he said he wanted to fight me.
And yeah, you guys have zero issues with.
I have no issue with it.
No issues.
Terrence ain't got an issue with it. I ain't got.
When pressed on whether Terence Crawford could still emerge victorious without a rehydration clause, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre didn't hesitate. He reaffirmed his faith in Crawford, insisting weight limits would not alter the outcome. Reporter Ricky Ferlati expressed doubt, noting that many fighters in similar situations have demanded such clauses to even the playing field when facing larger opponents. Typically, the rule is used to prevent excessive post-weigh-in weight gain, which could tilt the fight unfairly. But Bomac dismissed the very concept as utterly absurd, criticizing the idea of regulating a fighter's post-weigh-in weight. In his view, once fighters make the contracted weight, it's up to them to manage it however they see fit. He stressed that part of being an elite professional is understanding how to handle weight fluctuations, and he believes skill, not weight manipulation, should decide the winner. Bomac added that since both fighters have already agreed to terms, there's no need for extra conditions or restrictions, stating simply, they should just fight. His comments underscored his unwavering belief in Crawford's ability to adapt, pointing to his technical mastery, mental toughness, and high fight IQ as more than enough to offset any size disadvantage. For Team Crawford, this matchup is about pure competition, 2 athletes entering the ring to prove who is superior, without hiding behind clauses or special rules. That mentality continues to define their confidence heading into what could be one of the most significant fights of the decade.
Because in the past, most guys when they're fighting bigger guys like that, that's going to be the first thing that they want.
That's some pussy shit. That's some weak shit. Oh, you can't come in this much and shit. Oh, man, get the fuck out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale, I made the weight, regardless when I come back, ass. Hey, you accepted the fight, let's get in there and fight like me. Simple as that.
Appreciate you, Bomac. Thanks for the time, man.
The widespread discussion around rehydration clauses in boxing can be traced back to the Ryan Garcia vs. Gervonta Davis bout, which first brought the term into mainstream conversation among both dedicated fans and casual observers. In that high-profile event, the rehydration clause became a major focal point, portrayed as a means of ensuring fairness between fighters of different natural sizes. Following Garcia-Davis, the clause's visibility increased dramatically, becoming a recurring talking point in subsequent matches. This growing attention, however, has led to confusion and mixed interpretations, especially regarding its purpose and potential influence on fight outcomes. As a result, there is now a pressing need to clarify exactly what rehydration clauses are intended to achieve and how they function in practice. Clear, accurate explanations will help prevent future misunderstandings born from vague communication or misplaced assumptions. Because such clauses can meaningfully shape the way a fight plays out, it's essential that fighters, promoters, and fans fully understand their implications. Greater transparency will protect the sport's integrity and ensure all parties share the same expectations, especially as blockbuster matchups like the potential Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez showdown loom on the horizon. Providing context on the current situation, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn recently spoke about the status of the anticipated Crawford-Canelo fight. He confirmed that while negotiations have been active, the official contracts have not yet been signed. This means that, despite the hype, the fight remains unconfirmed. Still, Hearn acknowledged there's a strong chance the two superstars could meet during Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, a symbolic date on the boxing calendar that would provide an electrifying stage for one of the most talked about clashes in years. Should everything come together, fans could witness one of the most intriguing matchups of the year. Crawford has repeatedly stated that the bout is expected to take place at 168 pounds, where Canelo has ruled supreme in recent seasons. Reports from ESPN's Boxing Insider indicate there will be no rehydration clause in place, giving both fighters complete freedom to rehydrate without restriction after the weigh-in. This condition, confirmed by both camps, is already a defining element in the pre-fight narrative. For many, the idea of Crawford versus Canelo is a dream matchup, an opportunity to watch two elite champions collide for the right to be considered boxing's true pound-for-pound king. Both have built stellar legacies in their respective divisions. Crawford, who has conquered multiple weight classes, would be making a bold leap from light middleweight to super middleweight. This transition poses challenges. He will face a naturally larger, stronger opponent and will need to adjust his style to compete effectively in a heavier division. The move has sparked intrigue among analysts, highlighting Crawford's versatility and his willingness to push into uncharted territory. On the other side, Canelo Alvarez, long the dominant force at super middleweight, brings a combination of power, tactical precision, and ring control that has kept him among boxing's most respected champions. This potential meeting would test not only his abilities against an undefeated foe but also his hold on the sport's upper echelon. If the fight materializes, it could easily stand as one of the largest spectacles of 2025, drawing global attention and offering fans an intense contest between two fighters at the peak of their powers. The winner would emerge as the undisputed leader of the pound-for-pound rankings, with the outcome possibly reshaping the sport's hierarchy. In a candid conversation with IFL TV, Eddie Hearn underscored the difficulty of Crawford's task, noting that he'd be climbing roughly 3 weight classes for the fight. "It's a massive spectacle," Hearn said. "Crawford's coming up really 3 weight classes. He's physically disadvantaged in the fight, but he's a brilliant pound-for-pound fighter. It's 2 generational greats fighting each other." Hearn also revealed that a rehydration clause was never on the table because, as he put it, Canelo would never do it. This stance is critical, given the size gap and the fact that Crawford is moving from welterweight to super middleweight. Crawford, whose career philosophy centers on embracing challenges and evolving as a fighter, has consistently taken risks, whether by adding muscle for a higher weight class or conquering multiple divisions. His undefeated 41-0 record now leads him to perhaps his most daunting challenge yet, a clash with fellow 4-division champion Saul Canelo Alvarez. Interest in the fight surged when Crawford appeared at the weigh-in for his close friend and gym partner Steven Nelson's bout against Canelo's WBO #1 contender, Diego Pacheco. Speaking exclusively to Boxing Scene at the Cosmopolitan, Crawford explained, "That's what great fighters are all about, testing yourself against all the odds." His words reflect the mindset that propelled him to the sports summit. Now preparing to face a fighter many consider the division's most formidable champion, Crawford's skill, record, and reputation will all be put to the ultimate test. As September approaches, anticipation continues to build. Crawford, fresh off his reign as undisputed welterweight king, is eyeing the challenge of dethroning Canelo Alvarez, the long-reigning super middleweight ruler. With each man possessing the power, technical mastery, and experience to win, the bout promises to be a defining moment in modern boxing, a fight that could crown the sport's undisputed pound-for-pound champion. The boxing world now waits for the official green light on what could become one of the most important and captivating fights of 2025.
Take the fights how it happens. If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Saudi power figure Turki Alashik has created a major stir in the boxing scene with his substantial investments, securing an influential role and expressing his deep admiration and respect for Terence Crawford. Alashik has gone to great lengths to ensure Crawford takes the spotlight at his first ever U.S. event in August, an occasion already shaping up to be one of the biggest moments on the boxing calendar. Although there has been past tension with Canelo Alvarez, Alashik has worked diligently behind the scenes to bring the long-awaited clash between these two icons closer to reality. His tireless efforts not only reflect a desire to make the sport's most anticipated fights happen but also his vision of transforming how these monumental events are delivered to the world. Crawford, a long-standing respected figure in boxing, openly expressed his gratitude toward Alashik for his role, especially for financially backing the sport's most high-profile events. Speaking highly of Alashik's passion, Crawford said, "I'm definitely grateful for what Turkey has done in boxing. He's making all the biggest fights happen, fan-friendly fights everyone wants to see. He's a big fan himself, and he's putting so much into making these fights possible by backing them financially. I'm very happy with how things are headed and excited about where everything is going." His words highlight Alashik's influence in pushing the sport forward and ensuring boxing fans worldwide witness the matchups they've been craving. However, the path toward a potential Crawford-Canelo showdown has been far from smooth. Back in 2023, Canelo stirred controversy when he remarked, "If you see his record, he's only beaten one good fighter." The statement ignited debates in the boxing community, with Crawford's supporters insisting Canelo had unfairly downplayed his accomplishments. To add fuel to the fire, Canelo outright declared he would not fight Crawford, intensifying the rivalry. Now, roughly a year and a half later, talks between both camps are heating up, and those past remarks are resurfacing, reigniting discussions and tension among fans. A resurfaced clip from that 2023 interview drew a sharp reaction from Crawford's sister, Letitia Crawford, who took to X, formerly Twitter, to clap back with a pointed comment, "They all sing the same song." Despite this, Canelo has since softened his tone, showing a more open attitude toward a future matchup with Crawford. While still cautious, he acknowledged fans' hunger for the fight, suggesting it remains a real possibility. Speaking with Mike Coppinger of The Ring magazine, Canelo addressed the speculation, noting that critics might blame a potential Crawford loss on the weight gap between them. But Canelo appeared unfazed, suggesting such talk would only build hype. Hinting at the matchup, he said, "Fans maybe would get to see it, we might witness that battle. Perhaps. We don't know yet." His words signal interest but also uncertainty, leaving the fight's future hanging in the balance. As anticipation builds, the prospect of two generational talents clashing at the peak of their careers promises one of the most high-stakes showdowns in recent history. If it happens, it won't just be a fight, it will be a defining spectacle in the sport.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He's really good abilities and everything. And maybe we will see that fight. Maybe, we don't know yet.
Canelo, look, something you said to me a while ago really resonated. You said basically, if somebody's going to disrespect me, I don't want to punish them in the ring and beat them up and say, "Hey, here's, all this money," because everyone always makes their career high payday facing you, right?
Canelo Alvarez, standing at 6 feet 2 inches, has recently revealed why he prefers a fight with Terence Crawford over David Benavidez. In a candid exchange, Canelo explained that he declined Benavidez's challenge due to what he considered disrespect from Benavidez and his father. Accepting the bout, he said, would hand the 28-year-old the biggest payday of his career regardless of the result, something Canelo felt was undeserved given the approach taken toward him. Canelo stressed that at this point in his decorated career, he's willing to fight any top champion, but he dislikes the idea that simply calling him out should guarantee an opponent a massive paycheck. "I'm in a position where I can make my own decisions," he asserted, making it clear he felt Benavidez's challenge lacked the respect he expects from fellow fighters. Despite this friction, the unified super middleweight champion hasn't completely closed the door on a future Benavidez bout. "Like I say, you never know. Maybe someday I wake up and say, I want to fight that guy," the 34-year-old admitted. For now, though, a matchup is unlikely. Benavidez is preparing for a major fight with David Morrell and remains focused on competing at 175 pounds. Meanwhile, fans are hoping for a breakthrough in Canelo-Crawford negotiations, with a potential megafight looming later this year. While aware of the controversy sparked by his past comments, Canelo has stayed unfazed, repeating his desire to face the sport's greatest while enjoying the freedom to choose his own path, an attitude that has drawn both praise and criticism. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, the fight is inching closer, with behind-the-scenes discussions intensifying. Legendary promoter Bob Arum, who helped guide Crawford's career before their 2021 split, has voiced his belief that Crawford's skills could pose a genuine challenge to the Mexican star. Arum pointed out Crawford's seamless stance switching is a tool that could disrupt Canelo's rhythm, despite Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions. "I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight," Arum told Fight Hype. "Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer-puncher and totally ambidextrous. He drives opponents crazy because they prepare for a right-hander and end up facing a southpaw." Such praise reinforces the intrigue around the potential bout, with many believing Crawford's adaptability could give him a serious edge. Crawford recently became a 4-weight world champion after outpointing Israil Madrimov to win the WBA super welterweight title, cementing his status among the sports elite. While ready to face Canelo in what could be his toughest career test, the question now is whether Canelo will take the fight, possibly on his traditional Cinco de Mayo date. One potential warm-up opponent for Canelo is IBF champion William Skull, whose defeat could see him reclaim undisputed super middleweight status. As the boxing world waits, excitement continues to mount. A Canelo-Crawford bout would be one of the most electrifying and consequential fights in modern boxing, and fans are counting the days until a final decision is made.
Likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkana know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
In
here.
camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so when?
At the beginning of the middle of the February or March. Yeah.
With the final crescendo card of the Riyadh season fast approaching, it has quickly solidified itself as one of the most highly anticipated events on the global boxing calendar. Featuring 3 world championship bouts, the night promises to deliver an unforgettable spectacle for fight fans worldwide. Yet, even as excitement builds for that event, another possible showdown is commanding equal attention: the prospect of a monumental clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. This potential super fight has gathered serious momentum after a recent meeting in London between the two fighters and Saudi power broker, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Should the bout between Canelo and Crawford become reality, it would electrify the boxing world, creating a spectacle that transcends the sport itself. However, one sticking point remains: the venue. Saudi Arabia has rapidly emerged as the epicenter of major boxing events, but not everyone agrees it's the ideal location for a fight of this magnitude. Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing and a promoter who has worked closely with Alvarez, offered his perspective in an interview with DAZN News. "Canelo versus Crawford only works for me in America. I'm not sure it happens in Saudi or at all, but I don't see many options for Canelo right now," Hearn stated. His comments reflect the divided opinions on the fight's location and the ongoing uncertainty surrounding where it might ultimately take place. From a performance standpoint, 2024 has offered contrasting schedules for the two fighters. Crawford fought only once, defeating Israil Madrimov to capture his 4th world title across as many divisions. Alvarez, by contrast, added 2 more victories to his already impressive record. Reports suggest that the pair are edging closer to finalizing a blockbuster September fight for Alvarez's unified super middleweight titles. For Crawford, the bout would require a leap from 147 pounds to 168 pounds, a challenge he's embraced without hesitation, notably refusing to request a rehydration clause. This decision has added another layer of intrigue to an already captivating narrative. The significant weight gap between the two fighters has become one of the main talking points surrounding this matchup. Mexican boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez weighed in confidently, predicting an early knockout victory for Alvarez. "Canelo will knock him out in 6 rounds. Crawford is a good fighter, but there are weight classes for a reason," Chavez asserted. His remarks have fueled heated debate, with many agreeing that size could play a decisive role in the outcome. Despite not fighting since August, Crawford has no interest in a tune-up bout before facing Alvarez. At 37, the history-making champion is chasing the unprecedented achievement of becoming a 5-division world champion and remains certain that the weight jump will not be a significant obstacle. Having built his career on taking risks, this fight could very well be the greatest test of his life. Canelo, a dominant figure in the sport, has the power to shape his career and select his opponents. While the Crawford megafight appears closer than ever, his mandatory challenger, David Benavidez, remains on the sidelines. In an interview with Fight Hype, Benavidez's father expressed frustration, claiming Canelo's reported $200 million demand for the fight has stalled negotiations. He added, "Crawford is a great fighter, but Canelo is just too big. It wouldn't be a fair fight." Both father and son have made it clear they view the weight disparity as an insurmountable hurdle for Crawford. Benavidez, the WBC mandatory contender, echoed this sentiment while still praising Crawford's elite technical skills. "Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen, but weight classes exist for a reason. I give Canelo the edge," he said. This perspective is shared by other notable figures in boxing, including some of Canelo's past opponents. Legendary heavyweight Mike Tyson has also voiced skepticism about Crawford's chances at the higher weight. Speaking on the It Is What It Is podcast, Tyson admitted, "I don't like that fight. Too much weight for Crawford." He pointed out that Crawford has struggled before against bigger opponents, suggesting that stepping in against Canelo could be an overwhelming challenge. Former rival Egidijus Kavaliauskas echoed Tyson's concerns, telling Dan the Boxing Man on X, "I hope they don't make that fight. Canelo is just too big, too strong." Still, not every analyst is counting Crawford out. Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult, who initially doubted Crawford's chances, later changed his tune. Drawing comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s victory over Canelo in 2013, Showbiz argued that Crawford's superior footwork and high ring IQ could exploit Canelo's weaknesses, particularly his struggles when forced onto the back foot, as seen in his defeats to Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol. As anticipation intensifies for this potential blockbuster, opinions on the outcome remain sharply divided. One thing is certain, if Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford do meet in the ring, it will be one of the most talked about fights in modern boxing history. Fans around the globe are watching and waiting as the saga continues to unfold, knowing this could be the ultimate career-defining challenge for both men.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this fight breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Fightcore for more powerful boxing updates. Stay tuned for the next round.